Hey guys, Michael and Rob here from Lake Michigan Angler, and today we're on the water. We really want to break down and talk about copper rods, copper fishing, kind of give you a crash course on this. We have a lot of folks that come in. We've got a fish on right here. Go ahead, Rob. I'll start talking about it, and you're gonna have to kind of just narrate as you're really gonna fit. This has been phenomenal fishing. It's absolutely ridiculous. We did a video on dipsies, which is the same trip we're on right now. So I'll link to that. You guys can check out the video about dipsy fishing, dipsy rods, how to do it, how to employ it, and on. But when we talk about copper lines here, Rob, you know, what's the benefit of copper?
So copper is just a big, long, skinny weight. And the nice thing about it is that it gets down deeper than lead core for the same amount of line. So you can get to a deeper depth. Say like, you know, a 300 copper is definitely going to get down significantly deeper than a 10 color lead core, and they're the same amount of line. The other thing with copper is that you can just get to deeper depths than is even capable with lead core, and it does have its own action and harmonics in the water that does attract fish, just like a wire dipsy. Just like some of the other things, you know, it has its own properties that attract fish. And some days, you know, even if you have other lines at the same depths, the coppers are going to be the ones that catch the fish. On top of that, you're usually running it off of a board, getting it further away from the boat, so it's a little stealthier presentation.
Right. You get to work it like that. Now, when we talk about copper, it's referred to in feet, right? The amount of feet of copper out. So when you hear folks talking about, you know, catching fish on the 200, 250, 300, whatever, they're talking about feet. So you have an understanding of that. Now, when we talk about choosing sizes, Rob, you know, right now it's August 1st. We're in the middle of our summer season. You know, what are some of the coppers here, numbers-wise, that folks might want to consider and focus on?
Yeah, so the typical setups people start with would be a 200 copper, a 300 copper, and then even a 400 copper. Your 2 and your 3 are the most popular. They just always hit the sweet spot to catch a lot of fish. So you figure your 200 copper is going to be around, and it's kind of a rough estimate because a lot depends on speed and your lure and all that, but just say 50 feet down. Your 300 is going to be closer to 70 feet down. Your 400 might be 90 feet down, and kind of, you know, along those lines.
Yeah.
So right now we're in 190 feet of water. We started in 120. We've just been heading east. Those coppers have been in the zone where those fish are the whole time.
Yeah, and so you know, I should mention that we actually put together a starter pack for folks to really make it really easy to get into your long lines here with coppers. So we have a starter pack that consists of three copper rods, and they really are good all-around numbers: 200, 300, and then 400.
Yep.
Those 200, 300 are like money, and then when you really got to go down deep, like summer when the thermocline is down, way down, you got that 400, and you can always go beyond that. But if you're just starting into it, you know, those are really good amounts of copper to have out there.
Yeah.
And so check it out. We'll link to it down below on the website. We put the copper set together as a means to make it easy for guys to come in, get the right stuff with the right rod, the right reel, spooled up, ready to be fished.
Everything is rigged up correctly.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to commit to all three at the same time, that's fine. You can order just one or two or whatever you want. If you want to upgrade to different reels, we can customize however you want.
Right. And the important thing is when you walk out the door, you've got the right setup, no fuss. And when the starter packs, we save you some money too while we put it together. So it's kind of like the idea with that. So let's go ahead, Rob. I'm gonna let you do it. Let's go ahead and set a line here. Let's demonstrate to folks, you know, the intricacies of the copper, because you do have to be very mindful of how you're dealing with it.
Yeah, so copper is a little bit more difficult to get out. One thing I have to say is, I know people on YouTube hate this, but keep the clicker on. Keep the clicker on when you're letting it out. You don't want this to backlash. You want it to go out slow. Get that leader in the water, and what you're going to have is where the copper is attached to the leader, we've got a little piece of shrink tubing, a little swivel here. That can tend to hang up on the guides. And one thing to mention is on these copper rods, we have specific rods for the copper. They have big, oversized metal guides to make it easier to get out because the copper has a lot of memory. So we're just slowly letting this out. Once you get the copper itself out a good 50 to 75 feet, then the water will start really gripping on that copper and pulling it in. And then you can start getting it out a little faster. But you know, that first 50 feet's the hardest. We got to fish on that dipsy here. So I'm just going to keep letting this out while he fights that fish, and hopefully we don't get tangled in this downrigger. But as you can see, as we get more and more line in the water, we can start letting it out a little faster without the risk of backlash. And now I'm at the point where I can just take that clicker off and just start free spooling it out. And then hopefully we don't get this fish from on the dipsy into the copper I'm letting out, because I'm going to let it out no matter what. And then sometimes that's a no-no, but we're just going to go for it.
It's tough because when you start letting it out, you got to commit to it all the way, because you really can't have it in or out. You got to either let it out or bring it in if you have a fish on another rod. And I'm going to live on the edge here and try and let it out. So then, you know, I'm probably about halfway out right now. Behind the, or underneath the copper on here is your braid backing, and all of our pre-spooled coppers have 250, for the most part, 250 yards of backing. The exception to that would be when you get some people like extremely long coppers that just don't have enough room. There's a good hit on this dipsy. Yeah.
Then we have to have a little bit less backing on there, but we got fish on all over the place here. So right here, all the copper is out there. I'm gonna clip on this planer board and get it out away from the boat so I can grab this other fish.
And then as you let that out, Rob, you know, how should guys think about how far to let it out?
You know what, I'm trying to get it out away from the dipsies. You remember, like, your dipsies are getting out to the side, and I want to make sure that when a fish hits the dipsy, that it's not going to rise up into that copper. You want to back up?
I might be able to just joint them in, honestly. But
Think so?
I think so.
It's a good sized fish. I'll just net it. I'm ready for it.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yep, I'm ready.
Yeah, just another slob.
Yeah.
Another beautiful coho. Just a fatty.
Ready?
Yep. Steelhead, huh?
Yep.
There we go. Beautiful steelhead. Came on that dipsy and Dragon Slayer, right?
That
Dragon
was
Slayer.
the NBK.
Oh, that's the NBK, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another one for the box.
Yep.
All right, guys, so we talked about copper and, you know, setups and all that stuff. We're gonna go back to the shop here and kind of show you how, if you're gonna DIY it, you know, if you want to spool it up yourself, terminating it with your, putting it onto your main line and then connecting a leader to it. So let's go back to the shop and walk you through how to do that, all right?
All right, so now that we're back in the shop, let me show you how to terminate the end of copper. This is from going to the backing and also to the leader. It would be the same on both sides. So it's very simple to do. First, what you want to do is just slide some shrink tubing over that copper. And then we are going to put the copper through this swivel like that. And then just bend it over and twist it up. Just keep twisting until there's no more copper left to twist. Just like that. That will never come out. And then slide the shrink tubing over the twisted area and just heat it up. And like I said, that's for going to your leader and to the backing as well. It's as simple as it gets. There you go. There's fish on this rod too.
Doubled up. Doubled up. This is 300 copper just went, folks. As soon as we got back into what, 190 or so?
Yep, back into the 190s.
This guy doesn't feel all that big. We'll see. Might shake him off. So we had a 300 copper go. The Dipsy went. I think you guys can see why these are so effective.
Yeah.
Rods. I mean, and you know it's a good day when both sets are going off, because there's a lot of times where one works better than the other on those days. You know, could be due to the currents or just the way it's being presented to the fish in the water, that they want the board stuff on the boards better than the Dipsies, and then vice versa on other days where you can't get the boards to go at all, and it's just all your Dipsies doing the brunt work.
Yep.
That looks seems pretty decent over there.
Yeah, this is a good coho on here. You know it's a good one, you get that vibration in the tip from the flasher.
Yeah.
Then you know it's a good fish.
Yeah. I'm starting to think that maybe we didn't get any kings because these coho are beating them to the lures, man. They're just out, out competing them for food almost, you know? Like they're just voracious.
Yeah, I mean, the last few trips we've been kind of doing the same run. We've been getting multiple kings a trip. Today it just hasn't happened for the kings.
This is the reason why we like these Ninja boards, one-handed, off.
Yeah, especially in situations like we've had today.
Yeah.
Where both of us are always busy. You know, there's fish on numerous rods at the same time. We're both fighting fish. We don't have to worry about getting the board off for the other one of us, you know.
I might be off. He might have came off on me, which is fine. It seemed like a little runty anyway.
Yeah. All right, we're getting close. Do you want to just grab the net? Yeah, we're right here.
You sure? Oh, yeah. Watch it get hit right up there.
You're right. All right, ready? Try to get back over here. Ready?
Yep.
Oh, maybe not. All right, try again.
Yep, go ahead.
There
no. Oh, no, he's in the wire. He went aerial on me. All right, we're good.
All right, you ready?
Yep. All right, we're good. This fish decided to jump out the net when I pulled him up. Like he's running up the river or something. Another tank. Oh, is that a king?
Yeah, it's a little king.
Yeah.
Nice fish.
All right, there we go. Should pull him out of there and show him to the camera.
Yeah, this was on Munda's Triple Aqua Glow, which is a new fly.
It's a good looking fly, for sure.
Here's the king. Here's that Triple Aqua Glow. Megatron. All right.
So like I don't know, what, 8 pounder or something like that?
Yeah.
Well, we avoided the king skunk.
Yeah. Finally got a king. Not a monster, but we'll take it. And so we got 3 species today: steelhead, cohos, and kings. Fish on the rigger, fish on the SWR.
Yep, I got it.
Hopefully it's another king.
We're on. I don't feel like it.
No?
I feel like it's coming up pretty easy. Just made a lure change in that and put on, what I put on here? Blue flounder, mag.
It's a steelhead.
Steelhead?
Yeah.
Yep, another steel. Steelhead like them blues.
Right. Well, that's it then.
I know, it sounds so disappointed. Like
I know.
We can't fish anymore.
We got to pull lines out.
There we go. He wasn't going anywhere. He got all 3
Fillet
troubles
fish.
almost. Nice little steelhead right there.
So as you can see, we had a great morning. We lost at least as many fish as we caught. And you got to see a little bit how we were using dipsy divers, the wire divers, some information on the copper rods, a little of everything going on. But yeah, it was a great morning. We fished deep. We started in 120. We had just headed east. So we got into 150s, 160s. The action really picked up. As you saw, we had doubles and triples. We never really had to make any changes. I think at one point the biggest change we made was we let out the one dipsy a little further from 125 to 185. Eventually Michael changed the spoon on the SWR, and I don't even know if we really needed to change it. It was just kind of because everything worked. So it was a pretty phenomenal morning with lots of action. We didn't get any big kings, but we got some great cohos and a decent smaller king here. So thanks for watching, and if you need any of this stuff in the videos, you can contact us at lakemichiganangler.com. You can email us or give us a call or just stop in the store, and we're always happy to help.